making an adjustment.
800 meter.
All right, thanks, Nathaniel. Congrats on your exploits here today.
You're welcome.
Thanks again. It's over to you, Chris.
Thank you very much. Good luck, young man. Bright future certainly ahead of him there.
Very much so.
Okay, on the track now, it's the fourth section. And we have Joel Ham, JC, Josh Jones, JC, Devon Trusty St. Jago, Gage Bugman, Stets, Darnell Edwards, Kingston College, Jasona, Dennis Stets, Jermaine Fender, JC, Israel Allen, JC, Jordan Jackson, KC, Nathan Lamy, JC, Roger Wright, St. Andrew Technical, Markel Mills, JC, and Kevin McPherson of Kingston College. So JC well represented in this event.
5 Jamaica College athletes in this event, 3 from Kingston College. But it's actually the school from North Street that's actually in the lead at this point in
Yes,
time.
all 5 of them are behind Darnell Edwards. Darnell Edwards of KC at the moment.
Yes. And that is also a strategy I think you can put forward, Reggie, is that you represent your school well in the event. You know, you have 3 athletes, 4 athletes sometimes, so you can gather points. You know, and I think that's a strategy a lot of people or a lot of coaches implement in these championships.
Definitely winning a championship of the quality of champs, as we all know, the Easter champs. It definitely takes a lot of strategizing, and as you rightly mentioned a while ago, oftentimes we see coaches explore those options of not necessarily if there's a case where they know they are being outclassed by any one of their opponents, or if possibly they might just not be able to make the podium finishing. What they'll oftentimes want to do is, look to maximize on the amount of points they can take from any particular event. So let's look at even this one, this particular event here in question. We're seeing about 3 Jamaica College athletes. A strategy not estranged at development meets again, because it's about giving these athletes, the younger athletes, the exposure. It's more about them learning. And of course, as you rightly said, at a championship, it's about just maximizing the amount of points you can get per event.
Yes, very much so. And you want to improve as much athletes as you can ahead of the Boys and Girls Championship. So I think a lot of times that's why you see 4 or 5 Jamaica College athletes, 4 or 5 Calabar athletes, 4 or 5 Kingston College athletes in one section of an event, because you want to improve as much athletes as possible in order to make them better ahead of the Boys and Girls Championships. And I think that's a strategy a lot of coaches are taking nowadays. And it's a very good strategy. You know, you don't want to leave any athlete out. You don't want to single out any athlete. So it's very good that they have as much athletes as possible. And so you can improve more athletes, and you can have a greater chance of gaining points in order to lift the trophy.
Yes, and it comes back again to the point of depth. We've seen the reigns from Calabar High over the last 6 seasons dominating our champs. We've seen Edwin Allen being very, very dominant. And one thing that we can't overlook, or one factor that we can't overlook with regards to their dominance, is their depth. And with that being said, I think even with what you were explaining a while ago, it just ties in very well that, listen, it's important to develop not just the marquee names, but just to have a well-rounded squad if you are to compete at a championship level.
Good point, Roger. But look at the action on the track right now. It's Fender versus Edwards of KC. So Jermaine Fender of Jamaica College now taking over the lead from Edwards, who led for most of the race. Pint-sized little fella, and he's coming right back at Fender now. So we have another battle going on now. As they get ready for the straightaway, Fender versus Edwards. Who's going to call this one? It's close. It's JC versus KC. Fender versus Edwards. It is Fender versus Edwards. Fender trying to fend him off. Edwards refusing to panic as they go to the line together. Who calls it? It looked to be Edwards of Kingston College, squeezed him through and got the victory, but only just ahead of Jamaica College.
Excited again